past 12 years, I've raised my daughter all on my own. She's been my best friend, my little sidekick, and my constant companion nearly every single day. We've had many ups and downs and challenges over the years, but we've also had so many amazing adventures together, just the two of us. It's hard for me to imagine my life without her, but for the next couple days, I'm going to get the chance to do just that. I've been asked over the years, if I get lonely, and honestly, I'm quite happy being on my own, but at the same time, I always have my daughter with me, and so I'm never really totally alone. And so I've been thinking about that a lot more lately, especially as my daughter is getting closer and closer to graduating high school and starting her own life. I've just been thinking about that question more lately of how I will feel when she finally does go off to college or move out of the house. Am I going to feel lonely? Will I feel alone? It's hard not only as a single parent, but also as the only parent, and having my daughter with me all the time. It's a blessing, but it's also, I've lost a little bit of myself over the years, and don't get me wrong, I love my daughter more than anything, and being her mother has been like the best gift I could have ever received, and she's everything to me, and I don't regret any part of the sacrifices that I've made over the years for her. But at the same time, I've had to ignore a lot of the things that I want to do, or things that I want to pursue, or things that I'm interested in. And so this weekend, I have a rare opportunity of being on my own. My daughter is on a quick little vacation with her grandmother, and so I get to have the weekend all to myself. So I thought I would take the RV up to the mountains and try solitude out for a little bit, for a couple of days, just to see how I really would feel. Maybe get a glimpse of what it will be like being on my own. There's a part of me that is really excited, and I can't wait to be on my own and have this freedom and have time to myself. But there's also this other part that is a little bit anxious, and maybe a little bit afraid of what it's going to be like, what I'm going to find, and how it's going to feel. So I thought I would take you for the ride and take you along with me and see what I find out. Before I get up to the mountains, though, I wanted to make a quick stop on the way. I wanted to take a few minutes and visit my dad. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you might be wondering how I'm going to visit my dad, because he passed away last year. But he's actually buried at a national cemetery, and there's only one in the area, so it's quite far from my house, and I don't get to visit him very often. And when I do, it's usually we make a day trip of it, and I bring my mom so she's able to visit his gravesite, and my daughter, and the three of us go up there and visit. So I've never been able to visit his gravesite by myself, and I really wanted to be able to do that. And since this is on the way, I thought I would take a few minutes and say hi. No more depressing stuff. Let's get to the mountain. Early enough that there's still light. I think the sun just set. It set so early around here, like 4 o'clock. So, but there's still light out. So I thought I would take a little hike in this short little trail. It's beautiful here. It's giving me a lot of time to reflect. I'm starting to kind of feel the effects of being alone, and it's only been a few hours, but my daughter went on her trip, and I'm actually not even able to talk to her because they have no cell coverage there. And my best friend, she's up in the mountains in Montana, so I'm really alone, but this is good. It's really helping me not rely on somebody else to help me feel better, or call somebody to keep me company, which is what I really wanted. I wanted to be able to experience like true solitude, at least for a couple of days. It's so beautiful here. But it's starting to get dark, so I should probably head back to the RV. But now that I've been here a couple hours, I'm starting to get a little nervous about being by myself tonight. I need to get some kind of personal protection device, but I don't really know what's out there that would be good for somebody like me. I don't like guns, so I don't really want to have a gun on me or in the RV. Do you guys have any ideas of some kind of small, like, personal protection device that I could carry on me or keep in the RV? I would love to hear it. If you guys have any suggestions, I should probably add something like that to the RV. For now, I just have my kitchen knife. opportunities where I get to be on my own. So I'm always thinking things like, oh, next time I get to be by myself, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. But the reality is, when I am by myself, I usually don't know what to do with myself. I kind of feel a little bit lost. So I just ended up taking a shower and then making some dinner. My daughter's not that fond of salmon, so I hardly ever cook it at home. So I thought, since it's just me, I'm going to make myself a nice salmon dinner. And then I ended up doing a little bit of journaling and reading a book. I found this really cool book that I'm giving my friend for Christmas, but it's such a cool book that I wanted to read it first before giving it to her. But before I knew it, it was pretty late and I was getting really tired and ready for bed. So the place that I ended up staying for the night is a snow park. I thought that was kind of a safe place to stay. And when I got here, there were other people here, which I didn't really think much of. They were a little bit obnoxious. They had a big bonfire going and they were lighting some fireworks and kind of doing crazy driving in the snow. But they were kind of in the distance, so I didn't think much of it, and they weren't really bothering me. But now that they've left, I'm completely by myself, and it's totally pitch black dark outside. I can't see anything, and I'm starting to freak out. I'm starting to freak myself out with all these kind of crazy thoughts. Like, what if, one of them saw that I was alone and decides to, come back after leaving their friends and breaking in the van and trying to do something to me. I'm just started having all these crazy thoughts. I watch a lot of true crime shows, and so I just started to think about all of these like crazy crimes that happen to women, and I started to get really, really scared. It's really surprising how scared I was feeling. Like, I was ready to jump in the driver's seat, turn on the van, and go home in the middle of the night, because I started to get really, really scared. I just decided to just try to calm down a little bit and think logically and think about ways of how I could feel safer. So I came up with some crazy bungee cord contraption for the doors to keep them, and they're locked, but to keep them also harder to open. If somebody did try to break in, I would at least hear them struggling to open the door and be ready. And I also grabbed my kitchen knife, my big kitchen knife, and I even grabbed the biggest wrench that I have to be able to hit somebody with if they did try to come in here. But it's definitely a scary thought to be out here completely by myself and to feel really vulnerable like this. I don't know how a lot of the solo female van life women do it all the time, because it's definitely a lot scarier than I thought it would be. I thought I would feel like, completely peaceful being out here by myself, but it's the total opposite. I'm feeling very uneasy and uncomfortable about being here all by myself. I survived. I didn't end up getting much sleep, but I was very happy that I made it just fine through the night. And while the conditions weren't very good, it was very foggy and the snow isn't very good yet, I wanted to make the most of my time
while I was in the mountains and do a little bit of snowboarding. So I got up and made myself a nice breakfast and enjoyed a warm cup of coffee and got myself ready for a few hours on the slopes.
I tore the ACL and meniscus on my other knee this summer, which is a pretty painful experience, and I wasn't able to bend my knee all the way or squat down or bend down, but I had surgery about a month ago, and it's doing really well. They didn't repair my ACL, but they repaired my meniscus, and I'm able to do all kinds of things now. I'm able to squat and bend, which is pretty essential for snowboarding. And I got this pretty heavy duty brace that keeps me pretty safe. I have to be just a little bit more cautious now when I go snowboarding, but this brace is really helps keep my knee stabilized, and I'm able to go down the mountain like before. I'm back home now, and even though my first solo trip was only a few days, it was a really great experience and I learned a lot. I was really craving some solitude and I was really excited to have some time to myself, but in the end, I found that I didn't really like being all alone after all. Although I was okay being by myself, it made me appreciate and miss the people in my life even more. So I'm not in a hurry to venture out by myself right now, and I hope I get to enjoy many more years of adventures with my daughter, family, and friends.